Hello, I'm Dominic St-Pierre, and you're listening to Go Podcast. Today I will be talking about the internal package. Hello there, we are back, episode 10. This is good. I want to do a quick return on the last episode, so I posted it on Reddit, after creating it, and someone told me about the debug package, which I was honestly not aware of. So in the runtime package, there is a debug package that, can mostly do what I was talking about in the last episode, which is, getting the current commits and the current version and have that in your program somewhere. So when you log something to the console, you could have those information and whatnot. So it's there if you want to check it out. I haven't changed my code because it was already done, but I know that, for next time and whatnot. So what are we going to talk about today? We are going to talk about gotchas, or in fact, some little background on this internal package. So this reserved package that you can create on your package, and if you are creating a library or any kind of exported package, everything that is inside your internal would not be exported outside of your package, if you will. And this is good. This is great. So I've been using that in StaticBackend. So I will be talking about StaticBackend. StaticBackend is an open source backend API I'm working on since 2019. The project is growing very nicely. So if you want to join in, I would be very happy to see new contributors. So we are 6 at the moment, which is extremely nice. I mean, okay, I will stop bragging now, but the point is, how the normal story of in the Go community is about trying to find the right name for your packages. I don't know if it's just me. I am not a native English speaker. I am from Quebec in Canada, and we speak French in here. So I'm not French from France. I'm a Canadian, but in Canada we have 2 official language, English for the rest of the provinces, and French mostly in Quebec. That being said, I don't know if it's because I'm not a native English that sometimes I have difficulties finding the right name for a package. It's does not came out very nicely for me. So what I did in StaticBackend, at least, is that instead of creating generic package name, things like utility or common or extras or whatever the name that the Go community is always talking about. You should not create those type of package. I was when a function did not really match something interesting in my already created package, and nothing really came out from me to put that in their own package with a proper name, I was simply creating that into the internal. It maybe it was a defense mechanism from me to feel less bad from not having found a good name. I don't know. It's just the way it was. So I was creating not a lot, but models and helper functions and whatnot in the internal package. So let's take a concrete example of what I'm talking about. So let's say you have a random string function that generates random strings. And at first, you might have that function straight in your root package. And sometimes, times will come that you might need that functionality into a sub package of your main project. And now you are facing the fact that, oh, right, I need to move this function so it can be shared across multiple packages and sub packages and whatnot. Because you don't want to import your root package into sub packages, because now you will have a cycling dependencies, and this is not allowed, of course, in Go. So when I'm faced with that, so what I was doing was asking myself, well, is this thing requires its own package? So, and it's just one function. So to me, it felt, very wrong, or not a good design to have one package named string, for example, and have this function in there. So a package containing just one function. So I prefer to put that in the internal package. So the internal package turned out to be very, I don't know, multi responsible for almost, lots of things. And it's not going to be terrible until you decide to expose your package, and now the caller of your package will need to call what's in your internal, because at the end of the day, if you are, if you did, or if you are doing the same kind of mistakes I made, there's a lots of things that will end up in the internal package that the caller of your package will need. Might be configuration, it might be other things that you would gain from extracting that from the internal package. So the right thing to do would probably be to have created this string package, of course, with this single and only function, because at some point there would probably be more, and that would be the proper way to do. And if you're, if you want to export this functionality, then it's already in its own package. So that's what happened with the internal package in StaticBackend. So StaticBackend was a self-hosted backend API where the developers that wanted to use it needed, to self-host that, and they would contact the functionality, or they would consume the functionality via a web API. So for Go developer, I wanted to create an importable package. But by doing that, now it needed to export what was inside the internal package. And when this happened, you realize that you were stuffing, lots of things in there, because it's so easy. It will just work when it's just you internally, using those things, even from the root package or any sub package of your project. So I think it should be used with caution. And I don't know, to me personally, it was not a warning that I have seen so far a lot. Maybe I'm not reading enough articles or whatnot. Maybe you do, and I'm sorry for talking about that. But it was a real pain to me to have to extract everything from there. So I needed to extract models, things that the entire application was using. So let's let's talk concretely. So the StaticBackend is a multi-tenant system by default. So there is a struct called tenant, for example, and each tenant has their own database. So there is a struct called database config, for example, and those things are everywhere in the application. So they are in middlewares when trying to detect which tenant is performing this action. They are in all database provider that are there. So yeah, it was a major refactoring, and refactoring in Go is easy, I would say, due to the compiler and whatnot. But it's not the refactoring efforts that I want to talk about. It's really realizing that, wow, I've been using these tools that was made available to me very wrongly, and I was not really noticing it, because all until I needed to export my package, it was all good, all fine. So the moral of the story might be that if you know that you will never expose your package at all, your project and whatnot, you might be fine creating some things in the internal package, but yeah, I think it's to be careful with, and yes. So what it taught me is I'm not sure I will be using it in the future. I think the internal package, to me, I'm not even sure what exactly would go there. And with the amount of refactoring that I did, yeah, I will not be afraid to create one function package anymore, and I will try to give them a proper name, even though it might not be Go standard library level of goodness in terms of naming. It's pretty difficult sometimes, and you know what, I don't care. I mean, I think it will be better to have a not optimal name package versus using the internal everywhere. So yes, it's a tricky thing, and I guess also you never really know when your package will be exposed. So that is something to keep in mind, because to me, and strangely enough, I'm a Go developer since 2014. I mean, I never really thought of creating an exportable package for a backend API. So it's still very strange why I never really saw that coming. And it's someone from Reddit actually that suggested to me to create a Go package for Go programmers, and I was starting to think about that, and it just made sense. So yeah, if I did not really heavily use this internal package, it would have been a little bit easier to move on. So that's it for this week. All right, that's it for this week. I hope you liked the episode, and again, if you can share and talk about the podcast, that would be extremely appreciated. Also, if you want to check my book out, I have a course named Build SaaS App in Go. So it's at buildsasappingo.com. All right, see you in 2 weeks. Bye.